I'm self-made. I say what I want to say. I do whatever I want to do. Nobody's gonna fire me. Nobody's gonna shut me up. Nobody's gonna turn my volume down.
Right.
Hello again, and welcome back to another one. And today we have a couple of topics to cover, thanks to a recent live stream on Instagram, where Royce the 5'9" addressed the drama from back in 2020 when all hell broke loose after Snoop Dogg's infamous interview on The Breakfast Club. Anyone who actually watched the interview knew something was off with Snoop's tone when he was talking about Eminem back then, and it was the final statement he made that resulted in the fallout.
But when you talking about this hip-hop that I can't live without, I can live without that.
Since then, Snoop Dogg has made amends with Eminem and admitted that he was out of line in that interview, and while Snoop has admitted his faults, for Royce it looks like a hill he is willing to die on as he maintains his position. So in a conversation with Free Letter Man, Royce briefly spoke about the incident back in 2020.
Like the Snoop thing, I like Doggy Style. I think that's one of the greatest albums.
Facts.
You know, that was like all hell. World War III broke out on YouTube. You know, the ETLifestyle and all this sort of corny. Oh man, I just feel like he could have worded that different. Well, I just feel like I worded it how the I wanted to. Tell me how to speak.
Before we continue, this is actually the comment that sparked mixed reactions. It wasn't just about liking Doggy Style. Royce stated, Snoop is qualified to say everything he just said, and yes, I agree that Dre gave us the best version of Marshall we could have ever seen. I completely understand his criteria is going by. I'm the other way around as a fan. Snoop ain't as high on my list as M, but I can't live without Doggy Style. I'll take it over any M album. It's all subjective. Now back then, my impression was that Royce didn't actually see the entire clip. He just read the headlines and reacted because Snoop literally said this in that interview.
But when you talking about this hip-hop that I can't live without, I can live without that.
Even King Crooked thought everything was fine when he read headlines, but changed his tone after he saw the clip. So when he said Snoop is qualified to say everything he just said is why I believed he didn't see the entire thing, as even Snoop has since admitted that he was out of line. Let's continue.
You know, the ETLifestyle and all this sort of corny. Oh man, I just feel like he could have worded that different. Well, I just feel like I worded it how the I wanted to. Tell me how to speak. You word how you feel, how you word, how you talk, and don't worry about how I speak.
Right.
And it'll never be, an issue. And you'll never have a problem with anything I gotta say, as long as you always remember that I'm Royce the 5'9".
Yep.
I'm not like a I'm not a stand-in. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm self-made. I say what I want to say. I do whatever I want to do. Nobody's gonna fire me. Nobody's gonna shut me up. Nobody's gonna turn my volume down.
Right.
Nobody's gonna do anything. So it's nothing to get mad about.
Wow.
And you might be wondering, how did the conversation lead to this topic that's nearly 2 years old? Well, it started when Three Letter Man asked the question.
Do you feel people want you to take shots at Marshall for whatever reason, just to be like, okay, you take a shot at Marshall? Do you feel that way? Have you ever felt that way?
I feel like you're talking about his fans.
His fans. Oh, his fans. Yeah, right.
Oddly enough, perhaps, Royce is referring to fans on Instagram, because on my end, I've not really come across a comment from a fan who wants Royce to diss Eminem. But Royce continues.
You're talking about his fans.
His fans. Oh, his fans. Yeah, right.
I feel like there's a portion of Marshall's fans who already have a picture in their mind how a black man is supposed to conduct himself standing that close in proximity to him. And a part of that is don't be objective. Wave the flag at all costs, and if you say anything that sounds like that you're even questioning if he's anything other than the greatest, then we're gonna call you a snake and a traitor and disloyal. It's not all the stands. It's like some of them be like real young, and then some of them just be real white. You know what I mean? Like, it's like when you real white, you don't really understand hip hop like that. Like, if Eminem is the only hip hop artist you listen to, then you don't know nothing about hip hop. You just love Eminem.
Facts. Agree.
You know what I mean? So you may genuinely take something that somebody's saying as either selling him out or being disloyal to him, because artists of his caliber have a long list of people who have sold them out and been disloyal to them. Marshall been sued by everybody that he know, like that was in his family. Everybody he introduced me to as family end up turning on him or suing him at some point. You know what I'm saying? So I can see why somebody would jump to that conclusion, but it's just strange how well documented I am with standing up for him.
Royce made it clear he's not talking about every Eminem fan, but during the drama from back in 2020, a couple of things happened that actually explain the rift between him and some fans that's got nothing to do with being too young, white, or ignorant. For instance, his comments sparked mixed reactions as expected, since Snoop was literally downplaying Eminem's entire contributions to hip-hop in that interview. And check this out on Twitter from that time. The user stated, "Royce, thank you for pissing the stands off, they deserve it." And this was Royce's reaction. F them, their conditional love is no longer accepted here. Now those of you who were around when things got heated back in 2020 know this pretty much added fuel to the fire, and now Royce sums it up that those who have issues with him are either too young, ignorant, or too white. Interesting, I guess Royce is now officially a media personality. The so-called in quotes crazy stans turned out to be right on the money, as Eminem months later would reveal that he actually didn't expect those kind of comments from an associate like Snoop Dogg.
Again, I probably could have got past the whole tone and everything, but it was the last statement when he said, "As far as music I can live without, I can live without that." Now you're being disrespectful for, like, it just caught me off guard. You know, everyone's entitled to their opinion. My top 10, top 5 ain't gonna be the same as his. But everyone's entitled to their opinion, so how could I be mad at that? I wasn't mad about the opinion. It was after that. It was, you know, that the very last statement was like, oh, what the f.
And like we covered on this channel, Snoop has also admitted fault in a couple of interviews already.
And we had a long conversation about the respect that we have for each other and the way we need to talk in public about each other. And I felt like I was out of pocket. You know what I'm saying? And I apologized to him and I let him know. And I'm just bettering myself, you know what I'm saying? I make mistakes, I ain't perfect, I'm Snoop Dogg.
I'm self-made. I say what I want to say.
And I remember the media's spin that Eminem was mad about a top 10 list. The spin was hilarious. Well, that will be all for now. Share your thoughts below, like and subscribe if you enjoyed this, and see you on the next one.